Hi, my name is Lucy and I'm with the U-Haul Company in Minnesota, and today I am going to show you how to install trailer wiring in a Ford full-size van. If you're going to tow a utility trailer or a camper, anything, you do have to have working electrical by law, and I'm going to show you today why it's super easy to do it yourself.
You will need the tools seen here to complete this installation.
Alright, so now that we're all set up and ready to go, I like to set up the tools that I'm going to use so I'm not going back and forth. We're going to get to the rear of the van. I am going to locate the factory installed wiring harness. They do a really good job at hiding it and tucking it in and securing it up on top here. We're going to pull it down to make our job easier. I'm just going to pull that off. There's a little slide pin that slides right through there. Super simple to put back. And I'm just going to pull some of this wiring out. Ford does a really good job of making sure that it's protected. On our part that we're installing, you'll see that they all have black wiring, but if you turn and look, you'll see that there is a white, which is our ground, a brown, a yellow, and a green. Super simple: brown, yellow, green, and white. Our part comes with Scotch locks, which makes it even more simple. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take first the green wire. I'm gonna pull this back a little more. I'm gonna get that green wire in there, like so. And then I'm gonna put my green wire and make sure it's green to the green. I'm going to put that in there. Then you're going to need a pliers. Take that little metal right there and you're just going to push that down, and make sure before you push it down that that wire is in there as far as it can get up there, and that you're in all the way around there. You're going to push that metal down, squeeze it, squeezed, pull, it's in there. Close it up. I'm going to take another Scotch lock. We're going to go yellow to yellow. So I'm going to take the yellow. I'm going to put the whole wire in there. Make it easier for yourself to not have them right next to each other, because we're going to secure this with some tape later. So I'm going to put it up a little bit more. Find my yellow again, push that in there, make sure that they're both in there nice and snug. Grab my pliers, just double check. I'm gonna squeeze that down, pull, it's good. Close that baby up, hopefully. And sometimes they don't always close when you want them to. We'll tape that up later too, so it'll be fine. And then this, you can't quite see it, but it's brown. At least I can't. I'm getting old. All right, we're gonna put the two browns together. We're gonna take the Scotch lock and I'm gonna put it a little farther down here. Get that whole wire in there. That brown in there. Make sure it's pushed in there really good so you got a really good connection with it. And squeeze. Just give a tug and it's in there. Of course that one doesn't want to, oh, there it goes. All right, so now you have the yellow, the green, and the brown connected. We are not going to connect this one. We are going to ground this separate. This is your white wire. And on your packaging, you'll see that it says it's a ground wire. We actually are going to ground this right to here because it's already a ground. So it'll make it much easier. We don't compromise the ground on the factory wiring. It'll be grounded on its own. So that will be our next, will be to pull some of this off to have some extra give on it. We're going to take a 1/4 inch ratchet. We're going to take a 10mm socket. We're just going to lightly loosen this up just enough to get our ground, I guess I like to call it a horseshoe, in here. You want to make sure that when you install it, as you can see, you got your little opening here. Have it flat to the surface like this. All right, so this bolt here I've loosened up. We're going to gently just spread this apart. You can use your fingers. You can actually just push it up against the bolt if the bolt is bigger, and it'll spread apart, but do it very gently so in that way you don't snap it and break it. This is going to prevent us from not having to drill another hole into the frame to use a ground. We're going to use something existing. So I'm going to go ahead and just slide that in there, and then I'm going to use my socket and I'm going to tighten it down. And now that is secured and grounded. So now what I'm going to do before I start mounting the wiring harness itself, I'm going to re-secure some protection onto these Scotch locks with some electrical tape. I'm just going to start at the wire loom and just wrap around. This will help prevent any moisture getting into your wiring, your Scotch locks getting covered in dirt. Ford does a good job of keeping their harnesses protected in their wiring. We want to try to do the best job to match that when we use it. Just going to run this wiring up, this tape up here a little bit. And now that that's good like that, I'm going to remount this up on the top using this little piece here. Sorry, this little piece. And that is remounted now up there. And then I like to keep this as far away from anything that will drag or move. So there's a hole right up underneath here that I'm just going to run the wiring harness through. Pull all that excess out. And then I am going to take a zip tie, and right where my hand is, I'm going to apply a zip tie to that ground wire and the excess wiring to keep it secured and out of the way. And I'm just going to zip tie it to the factory wiring harness that's under there. And now the installation of the wiring harness is complete. Now that we've completed the install of the wiring harness, we don't want it to just dangle. It doesn't look professional. It can drag. Spend a couple extra dollars and give it a professional installed look. And bracket. On this bracket, comes with the hardware that you need, the nuts and the bolts. Sometimes you get lucky in the existing holes that are on the bumper. You can just line them up too. Other times, like today, we're gonna have to drill a hole. I'm going to use the existing hole here. Took a Sharpie marker, drew in there, as you will see very faintly, the spot that I need to drill a hole. I'm going to take my power tool. We're going to take a 7/32 drill bit and drill a hole. Like so. Make sure you wear your safety glasses because metal shards don't feel very good. And now that we have that drilled, gonna line up our bracket. Make sure it went through that side good. Pop it up there. We're gonna take our little nut and screw it on the top. Do the very same thing over here. And then I have a Phillips head screwdriver and a little combo wrench. I'm going to put the combo wrench on the top of the nut to hold it. And I'm going to tighten it. This hand tight's good. Now I got that bracket installed. On the wiring harness, you'll see a groove on each side. That is actually designed for a bracket. We're just going to take this and kind of push it in on one side, push it in on the other, and give her a wiggle. And then we are going to cap her up. Some people will push the cap through with the whole harness and then realize that they can't and have to fight it out. Don't push the cap through. You'll make that mistake once and never do it again. All right, and that's it. We're gonna then take this extra wiring underneath the vehicle, we're gonna pull it down, as you will see. And once again, we're gonna take a zip tie. We're gonna fold that good stuff up like that, and we're gonna re-zip it, tie it right up to the factory harness that we reinstalled. So it gives it that nice clean look and it's out of the way. And that's all that's to it. Now that we've completed our trailer hitch install and we've completed our wiring install, our Ford full-size van is ready to tow a U-Haul trailer, camper, work trailer. It's ready to work for you. Thank you for watching this video.
To learn more about the products seen in this video, or to schedule an installation by a U-Haul Hitch professional, visit us online today at uhaulhitches.com.